Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I will be talking about something that's been going on in the rant community for probably around a few months, maybe, I don't know. And basically, I saw this first when I was watching Urstarlays videos, and I think that in one of the comments it said that why is the rant community dying. So I'm gonna give my opinion if I actually think the rant community is dying or not. But first, I want to give a quick summary of what the rant community is for those who don't know what the rant community is. The rant community is a community where we basically talk about how problems in this can mean trends, other stuff like that, And basically, what we do there is if we're exposing someone, we give proof that it actually is true and that we're not just making it up for clout, or we talk about topics and why we think that they're bad and if we think that it should be stopped and stuff like that. So that's basically what the rant community is. It's a community where you share your thoughts and opinion on a topic. So yeah, that's basically what the rant community is. So now let's get started on why some people are suspecting that the rant community is dying. Okay, so firstly, some ranters have been recently quitting. I'm sure you've seen a lot of them. I've personally only seen one, which is 𝘗𝘢𝘳𝘬𝘢 basically quitting. And well, if you don't know who 𝘗𝘗𝘢𝘳𝘬𝘢 is, she's a ranter, or she was pretty popular, and I think that recently she quit. A lot of them are quitting because of studies and that they need to get their grades up, stuff like that. But yeah. And then a lot of people really just can't, they don't really have motivation either, so they kind of had to just quit because they need to do something else in their life. They have something important to do in their life, stuff like that, and they just don't really have time to post anymore because they need to catch up on something. So it's kind of making them just have no other choice but to quit. And yeah, so for some reason a lot of them are ranters and stuff like that. And then there's this next problem, which is basically lack of ideas. Lack of ideas is basically something that a lot of us ranters actually struggle with. It's where you basically can't find anything to rant about and you just don't really know what to do. There's been times where I haven't posted for quite a while about rants because we don't find ideas to rant about, because a lot of us there's mostly sometimes we can't really we don't always find ideas to talk about because sometimes we just already talked about a lot of things and there's just not really anything else to talk about. And it takes us quite a while to actually get more ideas, which is kind of why ranters don't really post rants that much, if you realized it. But a lot of ranters kind of just post a few weeks later and after, So honestly, ranters so there's a lot of lack of ideas in the rant community where we basically just can't find anything to rant about. And it's pretty hard for us to actually find something to rant about because sometimes you just already talk about everything and then you can't find anything else to rant about. And then even if you ask for ideas from your fans, then all of the ideas, they're just something that you already ranted about. So yeah, that's basically what lack of ideas problem is in the rant community. And then there is repetitive content. Repetitive content would probably be something if you only talk about one topic, it's it's not. Now of course if it's one or two, that's fine, but we mean as in you actually have been only recently posting about that. Of course if it's important, then you obviously have to talk about it, but yeah. So yeah, that's basically why some people are suspecting that the rant community is dying. So yeah, Now I'm gonna give my personal thoughts and opinion on if I think that the rant community is dying or not. So yeah, let's get started. So, I wouldn't personally say that the rant community is dying, but there is kind of like, I guess that there is a lot of ranters quitting, and I guess if all of them end up quitting, then probably like, because if you think of it, the actual ranters that are kind of still like actually posting, a lot of them are kind of like new and not a lot of people know about them, which means not a lot of people watch their videos, which kind of means that it's kind of hard to actually find rants, because like I said, some ranters are just struggling with actually finding what to post. And yeah, I'm not saying your entire like channel has to be around ranting. You can do other stuff on your channel. It's definitely gonna be hard to find rants in the future, I believe. But I still wouldn't say that the rant community is specifically like dying. There's a lot of ranters in the world. It's just that they're not famous. But yeah, I guess some of the famous ones are kind of quitting. But I don't know if that specifically means that the rant community is dying just because people are quitting. I mean, who knows? Sometimes they're just taking breaks. Like Urstarlays did. She took a break for a few months and then came back. So, they're not always, like, actually leaving. Oh, I'm really bad at this, not gonna lie. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say, since I guess a lot of people just think that the rant community is dying. But yeah, I don't know if it's specifically dying, but I can definitely see why some people think that it's dying. But still, I don't think that the rant community is actually dying. It's like, I guess like maybe some of them are quitting, but there's a lot of ranters in the world probably. They're just not famous. That's probably why. But trust me, there is a lot of ranters in the world. And we don't have to be scared that it's dying. Of course, it's probably not going to last forever, but still, there's a lot of ranters. And it's fine. Because really, like I said, there's a lot of ranters. They're just not famous. And just because the famous ones quit, doesn't mean that they're not always like gonna be there. So yeah, I wouldn't personally say that the rant community is dying. So yeah, to me, I don't know if I would say that the rant community is dying. It's just like, it may be a little hard to find topics to rant about, but still, the rant community probably isn't ranting. I mean dying. Sorry. I don't think that I'm very good at English for some reason. Yeah. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts on if I personally think that the rant community is dying, or if it's just kind of hard to find other ranters.